everybody, this is Loop Cubes coming to you with a TCG current deck profile of Dragon Link. This is not mine. I'm here with Denfrus, who came in 6th place at last week's GG for free, which was Wednesday, October 21st. Denfrus came in 6th place. He was undefeated, except he got a round 1 loss due to being late. I watched some of his rounds and thought he performed really well, so I wanted to give him a deck profile since Logan wouldn't. So here we are with Denfrus. How's it going, man?
Yep, I'm good. Thank you for bringing me on.
Awesome, yeah. So I don't want to get too much going card for card on this deck profile because Dragon Link is pretty standard, for the most part. I just wanted to ask you a couple things about your ratios, namely your hand trap lineup, your choice of tuners, and your number of cards. As you can see, it's a pretty standard Dragon Link package. The first thing that's picking my mind the most, what was your choice in going for the Violon Cube variant versus like the Red Rose variant, for example?
So the like two arguments is like Red Rose, you're more consistent because like say if you open Red Rose or the White Rose, you can normal summon it, and say if you have like an extender, then you're actually comboing. If you open Violent Cube instead of that Red Rose, then you're not comboing. So it just makes it more consistent. However, I chose to go with Violent Cube here. My Violent Cube, by the way, because Dino players I've been seeing lately have become a bit feisty and starting to use Dark Ruler No More again.
For sure, and being able to get that perfect hand knowledge off Smoke Grenade and rip that Dark Ruler No More is huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, so definitely a little less consistent, a little more vulnerable, but at the same, it definitely a higher payoff. So yeah, I think it really just comes down to personal preference. What was your reasoning in playing 50 cards over 45, for example?
60, because 60, like, you want to open Nibiru as much as possible, and like hand traps in general, because it's for much just stupid one. Like, so 50, like, if you play 40, you're cutting down a lot of stuff. Like, you're cutting down on safe, you're cutting down on like a bit of hand traps. You're just cutting down stuff which like are pretty vital for you to play through stuff. Like the argument between 40 and 50, because 60 is kind of out of the equation, is that 40 might open your side cards more and like the important vital cards. However, it might brick more because you don't have like the necessary combo pieces, and
you might draw into your garnets.
Yeah, you're gonna draw into your garnets a lot, and so I just decided to go with 50 because you're still opening you have still stayed like the same chance of opening hand traps. I'm just doing this based off my head, but yeah.
Speaking of hand traps, you decided to go for a little bit of everything here. I see the Trolls, I see the Nibirus, I see the Gammas, I see the Imperms, but no Ash. Are you a fellow man of culture who decided to replace Ash in the main with Droll?
Yeah, Draw's too good against. In my opinion, the best 3 decks, they somewhat lose to Draw. If in Dinos, like normal summon OV effect, add like Baby or something if you open like OV Misk. And like poof, you've got your Draw, they can't use Animador and Darkosaur is the one you're looking for to add your pill, and then you can possibly, jokingly actually, because Dino players always open their pill or something, but they can't add their pill, which is pivotal to like stop them getting UCT, and that's like the worst example. Say if they open like invert Dogma, that's like really common. If they add with Alistair and then you draw, they just ending on Mechaba Pass because they can't use Nadir. Like Mechaba Pass, one negate and banish. It's not even that much. And then Dragon Link, like, is pretty crippling.
Yeah, for
They
sure.
can make something else, but like it's just crippling.
Yeah, like if they Chaos Space and then you droll them, like they're crying.
I guess very good memories.
So, something else I noticed that you weren't playing is the one of Called by the Grave. Do you just feel like it's just not consistent enough to be worth playing?
There's two reasons. One, the man on the call by grave looked at me is very scary, and two, it's just I would rather play hand traps than called by the grave, to be honest. Like if you open it like nice and then because this deck bricks a lot, like holy. It's the only time it's you break a lot and then you open like a bunch of utility cards that you need to have set up for in order to actually use. And Cool by the Grave is one of those like cards that help with your combos but don't help actually start your combos.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So again, the extra deck is looking pretty standard for the most part. You have your Boral Sword over access code because dragons. You have your Union Carrier for lock. Everything looks really standard. I see that you're playing the bow, the Apollosa bow, the goddess, which not everyone is playing. Did this come through for you?
Yeah, it comes through sometimes like when you have the extra monsters you open like pretty cracked. You can use them to make Appaloosa, which might be key against Dragon Link. So it's just that negate the misc or negate that OV when they've like negated your like played through your other stuff with like Pank and friends. And so yeah, it's just pretty nice. Just a link for clean up your board, make something. But I wouldn't mind playing Free Striker, but like it came up. Free Striker did come up. Not gonna lie, but Aphelios is just solid. I might play Free Striker. I don't know.
Um, so yeah, we'll move on to the side deck here. I noticed that you decided to play 3 Lancia instead of just. I see some people just playing one to do the combo to search it with the Union Carrier and then bounce it to hand with spheres. I see you just decided to play 3. Is this just because like you just might as well open it and then not sacrifice your spears?
Yeah, that's also one thing. As well as the fact I've seen like I made this correct call. It's a correct call. It's not a wrong call. Dino players tend to go like first go and like when they lose RPS and say they win game one, they choose to go first because Dolka UCT is strong. And
Yeah.
so when you Lancia them, it's just very non-strong, and then they pretty much lose. And that's just really nice. And also, you may as well have free Lancia, bro. This deck has every single side card that you have in your main deck.
Mm-hmm. That makes a lot of sense. No material. Now this is a very like interesting card. I've seen a little bit of resurgence. I just want to let you explain. Did this come through for you at all?
Uh, I possibly may have no material to die in the past turn, but that was very funny.
What do you
No
remember
material
what he
just
was
made me
playing?
different. Uh, I can't remember. It's probably something like Dragon Link.
If you
Yeah.
just pass there, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, you have your power 1 of 0, you have Pank, you have HFD, you have Reboot for the control matchups. That makes a lot of sense. Something I'm seeing missing from here is no Cosmic. Like, your only real back row removal is the HFD and the Lightning Storm. Was that enough for you?
Yeah, that was enough for me. Like, the control matchups, say I played against Eldritch and yeah, Eldritch and Friends. Eldritch and Friends, you can play through Eldritch and Friends. You see, Eldritch and Friends, they like do one pop. And say if they're playing the other version, I think it was called Dogma, you can say if you haven't opened hand traps for like Ecclesia or Ash for like Eldland or something, that means your hand is packed full of playing through cards, like Quick Launch, so like Chaos Space, or just hard open one of the baby dragons. So you can try and play through, and then you can like do that as well as slowly weakening their boards because you would have gotten rid of their punishment, and then they'll just be stuck surviving on one Conquistador, which you can play through if you just keep stacking up on cards.
So, and I also see that you decided to side talents over maining it. I just want to let you explain for yourself what the logic and reasoning behind this was.
I would rather play more hand traps than talent. So if I were to play talents, I'd just remove like what 2 imperm and then 1 like I don't know. But like yeah, 2 imp. It's just tactics could stay in the side because if 'cause I'm not really. It's a hard choice, but tactics in the side is just really nice for me because say if you're playing against a lesser hand trap deck, then yeah, that it won't be used. Also, it's the same situation as Called by the Grave. It doesn't help start your combos. It
For
only
sure.
helps you once you've done it.
For sure. Well, looking back on it now, what we're looking over the tournament, do you remember what your hardest matchups was outside
Oh,
of
this matchup. Let's see. So I went against Eldritch. I went against. Rhino was pretty stressful when I went against thingy Xmas, I think. That one he almost had me, but I managed to put it through. And then
Can you
the
stop
Dragon
moving your
Lord.
mic? I can't hear you.
Oh, sorry, so I played against X Monster. That was like really nice because he didn't open Dark Ruler game 2. That was the send. And then even though if I misplayed because I had Lancia in hand, I still got rid of his extra. But anyway, we didn't talk about misplays. We've gone. So Dragon Link was pretty hard. I won. I lost RPS. I had a
Simple
heart
as
attack.
that. Yeah.
He opened Nibiru Gamma.
Yikes. That's rough.
And then
Was it,
Eldritch was tough. I had to use my
were they
brain. I had to
playing
use
the
my
Buster?
brain.
Were they using the Buster variant?
Yep, very. Was he using the Buster Roll?
I think he was.
Can't
I
remember.
I spectated that game. He was.
Yeah, it was. It's like that one's like proper hard, like because they can protect their thingy Buster Blade one. There's the other trap, which just
Okay,
negates
so I
all
want to cover.
dragons.
I want to cover this. Don't get cheated, everybody. Prologue does not protect. Prologue. If we go into Dueling Book here, look at Prologue. Prologue says you can banish this card from your graveyard. This turn, Destruction Sword cards you control cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. If we look at Buster, the Buster Blade of Fusion does not have Destruction Sword in its name. Neither does Buster Dragon. So neither of these cards are protected by Prologue. Do not get cheated. I've seen multiple people try to cheat with that, knowingly or otherwise. But just a quick little ruling it's not even a ruling thing, it's just a reading thing. Just don't get cheated with that. But veering back in onto the deck profile, looking back on it, is there anything here that you'd like to change?
That's a hard one there. So maybe going back on it, I might cut down to 40, but I don't know. And also I might play Ash because instead of the imperms, because Ash, Ash Misk, pretty good.
It's pretty nice. Yeah. Yeah, I'm personally in my Dragon Link deck playing 45 cards, and I think it's a reasonable balance. You're still getting down to see your side cards. The math on it is fine. But it really just comes down to personal preference at the end of the day. Well, Denfrus, thank you so much for coming on. Congratulations on doing so well in the tournament, despite your round 1 loss at the beginning for being late, and I'm sorry that happened, man. I can't wait to see what you pump out next GG for free.
Thank you. Blame alone.
Alright, thank you.